Across newsrooms, analysts scramble to confirm what is happening. Across social media platforms, posts multiply faster than verification can keep up. Images appear before context. Claims appear before evidence. And somewhere inside this storm of information, something curious begins to unfold. The headlines move faster than the truth itself. War, perhaps more than any other subject, seems to accelerate this phenomenon. Stories about conflict surge through digital networks at extraordinary speed. They dominate conversations, reshape public perception, and often influence political decisions before the full facts have even emerged. But why does this happen? Why do war headlines spread across the world so quickly, sometimes long before reliable information is available? To understand that, we need to explore something deeper about human psychology, media systems, and the nature of fear. We're starting with number 5. Number 5 is the instinct that once kept humans alive. For most of human history, survival depended on recognizing danger faster than others. A distant sound in the forest could signal a predator. A sudden movement could signal a threat. Those who reacted quickly survived. Those who ignored warnings often did not. Over thousands of years, the human brain evolved to prioritize danger above almost everything else. This instinct still lives inside modern minds, even in a world filled with smartphones and satellite broadcasts. When people see headlines about conflict, attacks, or war, something ancient activates. The brain treats those signals as urgent information that must be processed immediately. It does not wait calmly for verification. It does not patiently search for nuance. It reacts. And when millions of people react at the same time, information spreads with astonishing speed. Number 4 is the architecture of modern media itself. In previous centuries, news traveled slowly. Newspapers printed stories once a day. Radio broadcasts followed scheduled times. Television news aired in defined segments. Today, the global information system operates continuously. Platforms are designed to reward speed, engagement, and emotional response. Algorithms scan billions of interactions every second, identifying which stories generate the strongest reactions. Content that triggers fear, outrage, or shock often spreads faster than calmer explanations. A headline that suggests a dramatic escalation in conflict can travel across the internet before journalists even have time to verify the underlying facts. In this environment, the first version of a story often becomes the most widely seen version. Corrections, clarifications, and deeper context arrive later, but by then the emotional impact of the initial headline has already shaped public perception. Number 3 is the power of imagery. War is not only reported through words, it is often accompanied by images that carry enormous emotional weight. A damaged building, smoke rising above a city, civilians running through streets. These images can appear online within minutes of an event occurring, sometimes without clear confirmation of where or when they were taken. Images bypass the slower parts of human reasoning and speak directly to emotion. They create a sense of immediacy that written analysis cannot replicate. When people see these visuals, they feel as though they are witnessing events in real time, even when the context remains unclear. And when images combine with urgent headlines, the result is a powerful narrative that spreads faster than careful investigation ever could. Number 2 is the geopolitical stakes that surround modern conflicts. War headlines do not exist in isolation. They carry implications for global stability, economic markets, international alliances, and the security of entire regions. Governments monitor these stories closely. Financial markets react within minutes. Military analysts attempt to interpret signals that might reveal the next move in a rapidly evolving situation. Because the consequences of conflict can be enormous, every new development attracts intense attention. Even rumors can trigger waves of speculation. Analysts debate possible outcomes before the situation is fully understood. News outlets compete to provide updates as quickly as possible, knowing that audiences around the world are watching. This competition for speed creates a strange paradox. The urgency to report important developments can sometimes accelerate the spread of information that has not yet been fully verified. Before we reveal number one, pause for a moment and think about how often you've seen a dramatic headline about conflict that later turned out to be incomplete or misleading. If you're enjoying this deeper look at how information spreads during global crises, share your thoughts in the comments about a moment when a breaking war headline caught your attention. And if you enjoy exploring the hidden psychology behind world events, consider liking the video and subscribing to Deeper 5 so you don't miss the next story. Now we arrive at number one. Number one is something far more subtle and unsettling than technology, imagery, or competition among news outlets. It is the human need for narrative. When people encounter chaos, they instinctively try to transform it into a story. Stories provide structure. They create heroes, villains, causes, and consequences. They help the mind make sense of events that might otherwise feel overwhelming. War, however, is often far more complicated than any simple narrative. Conflicts develop over years of political tension, historical grievances, strategic interests, and unpredictable decisions. The truth of what is happening on the ground rarely fits neatly into a single headline. But headlines must be short. They must capture attention quickly. They must translate complexity into something immediately understandable. In doing so, they often simplify events that are still unfolding and still poorly understood. The result is a powerful but imperfect cycle. A dramatic headline appears. It spreads rapidly through digital networks. Millions of people interpret the story through their own fears, beliefs, and expectations. By the time deeper analysis begins to emerge, the emotional narrative has already taken hold. And once a narrative spreads widely enough, it becomes difficult to replace with something more accurate but less dramatic. This is why war headlines so often travel faster than facts. Not because journalists intentionally mislead the public, and not because audiences are incapable of understanding nuance. It happens because the entire modern information ecosystem rewards speed, emotion, and simplicity. Yet the deeper truth about conflict rarely arrives instantly. It unfolds slowly, through investigation, verification, and careful analysis. The reality of war is often quieter and more complex than the headlines that first announce it. Tonight, somewhere in the world, another alert will appear on millions of screens. Another breaking headline will race across digital networks. People will read it, react to it, and share it within seconds. And once again, the world will be reminded that in the age of instant information, the first story we hear is rarely the final one. The facts are still catching up.